All right, welcome everyone. Excited to see some of these faces on here tonight. We have some people that just got back from Asia. Are you guys tired? Yes. Jet lagged a little bit. You guys are all out of whack, aren't you? I know the feeling. I know the feeling very well. I think maybe all of you guys didn't know. Well, some of you guys didn't know. I didn't go to Asia. I canceled last minute. So, um, yeah, you probably know because you probably only last week you're probably on here with me. But anyway, um, excited for tonight because we all get to learn through their teaching, their learning in Asia. We get to learn from those of you that are back. Some people aren't back yet. I know Roxy's on here. She's still in Thailand. You guys see her? She looks like she's in a cab or something, in the backseat of a cab. So Roxy's still in Thailand. Uh, So she's there, but I know Angie, Becky, I'm gonna probably mess up here. Who else was there that's on tonight? We got a few people that are
Tanis is here.
oh, Tanis, there you are, Tanis. Hey,
Yep.
Tanis.
hmm
Maybe a couple others as well, but I'm just excited for tonight. Oops, I gotta turn my video on. I don't know what happened there. Hold on one second here. There we go. Anyway, so I'm excited. I'm excited for tonight. I'm gonna pass it right off to Becky because Becky, I know that you said you could literally train for like a whole day on what you guys learned over there. So I'm
Well,
gonna
I'm
get
gonna
back into
actually
notes.
I'm gonna go last because I'm gonna
Okay.
let Angie and Tanis share, and then what they don't share, I'll fill in the gaps of all the notes that I took because it was so good. And there's everybody gets their own experience from their own lens and their own view. So I don't know, you guys okay with that? So I don't know, Tanis, do you want to go first or Angie, do you want to go? I would love to hear from them, and then I'll wrap up. And then if there's any others that come on here, because I don't see, I know everybody's kind of jet lagged themselves. I know I feel a lot better. Slept really good last night and had a really good nap today. I feel like I'm almost reset by tomorrow morning. I know I will be. But Angie, why don't you
Yeah,
why don't
same.
you go ahead
I
and
was wide
start?
awake at 3
Let me
a.m.
lead and then Tanis go, or do you want Tanis to go and then you?
You guys let me know. I'll spotlight one of you. Who wants to go first?
I can go
Let me
first.
go. Let me go because I'll be really quick.
Okay, go.
I'll be really quick because I don't have a bunch of notes in front of me. I feel like I need to go to bed. I've been forcing myself to stay awake all day. Um, but it was great. It was great to meet the team. It was great to feel the love. The Russians are lovely, and Team Impact obviously is making a big impact, but the Russians are making a bigger impact. So that's one of the things I took away is we have to work at making a bigger impact because the opportunity is much larger even than I thought. The biggest takeaway I think that I took was the culture of Ollie Nation, and I still don't know if it's Oli or Ollie Nation. Oli Nation, correct me. Um, but the culture being that they really do. It's really a team culture. It's not a corporate culture, which is something that I'm very used to in the network marketing industry. The corporate has always been the player and kind of dictating everything, and I'm finding that that's not the case here. I even had somebody that I was trying to recruit in Thailand ask me, well, what can we offer? Well, we don't offer anything to anybody. It's really up to the team, the person coming into the team to make a difference, not what we're going to give you, but what are you going to bring to the table. And so that really was my biggest takeaway, and the fact that we really have to make a bigger impact than we already are making, and the fact that I love all the people that are involved so far. Right now, I think there's a lot of network marketers, and I think that the next wave is going to be people that aren't network marketers, which is going to be an even bigger piece of the pie that's available because there's so many people that are looking for natural health and wellness. So I'll pass it back to Angie, I guess.
Hello, hello. Thank you. And Tanis, I did learn at corporate, they say, everybody, Oli Life is how they pronounce it. Because the name derives from the word Olympic, right? So Oli Life is how they pronounce it. But yeah, so I'm a little bit jet lagged. I was wide awake at 3 a.m. Did take a nap today. So tomorrow, like Becky, I should be right on point. So Becky and I were talking, and she, I think, either has gotten all of the slides that corporate had for us on the products, or she's getting them. And Erin, I really think like we could do a whole month's worth of training really on just all the information that we learned about all the products. I just walked in there and just so like I learned, especially about the shake and massager, you guys. I learned so much about that. It is so much more than body slimming. Seeing the wall of patents was pretty incredible for me. The safety certifications, the patents, because I'm going to be honest, when I first joined this, and I think many of you are probably feeling like this, like I was like, is this for real? Like, is this for real? Right? The whole, being an Asian company was like a little bit, I'm just not used to, right? And the way that they run things with the corporate side is just, it's something I'm not used to. How we get paid is something I'm not used to. And so I really had to take off like all of my expectations and just walk into it and say, okay, like, just teach me, like, what do I need to know? And, I walked away with, and I think this is the importance of getting there, right? So much belief. And so, we started in Xiamen in the corporate office there, where you walk in and they had just have a beautiful display of all of the products. We were putting on the goggles, we were putting our feet on the P90 Plus, and it was just incredible. Oh, and then the wall of the 89 failures. So before they got to the P90 Plus, they failed, right? 89 times. And they have all of those prototypes on the wall. And so, I mean, that really spoke to me. Meeting the Russian team, we were laughing because at the beginning, the women were, very stoic and, not super open with us and but by the end, they're hugging us, kissing us. We don't speak the same language, but we all have one thing in common, and that is this company and these devices. And so hearing from Arthur how they build in Russia, you guys, and I think we're going to have Arthur on, and so he can explain in his own words, because me and Becky and Tanis were just like, if they can do this, like what excuse do we have, right? To not just completely blow this up. Another, thank you. Another person we met was a lady named Rena. She's not on our team. She left the corporate side of a big network marketing company recently to come to Oli Life in the field, and she lives in Bangkok. She moved there. She doesn't know anybody, and so she and I are in communication. And when we go back, she's gonna take me around to see some really cool places. But that really struck me, like you left corporate, that she was in marketing. She was like the CEO of marketing for a company, and she left for this opportunity. Like that really struck me like, wow, we have something. And I'm going to end with this before I pass it on. I was chatting with Paul. If you don't know, Paul is who enrolled Van and Tuan. And he said something because there are some growing pains, right? There are some things that we're just not used to. Like I said, most of us come from other companies that run things a little bit differently. And so he said something that really struck me. I wrote it down, and I want to end with this. So he said, if everything is perfect, where is the opportunity? Right? And I said, wow, like you're right. I'm glad everything's not perfect. I'm glad we ran out of product. I'm glad there are growing pains, because that means we're here at the right time and there is so much opportunity. I hope you guys realize that. Like you have something in your hands that is absolute gold if you allow it to be, right? And put in the work and the effort and learn. So I'll end with that, Aaron.
Well, before you end, I gotta mention this because I remember when we first met. I know you know where I'm going with this, right? Well, now, everybody, I want you guys to understand. Um, when I met Angie, right? It was obviously with Becky, and we got on a call with Tuan and Van, right? And Becky was, I mean, Angie was a tough cookie. In just like she said, she didn't like that it was a China company, right? Angie, like, I don't know, I don't, but you were like, is this really real? Like, are people really getting paid? And I remember like, you like, have you met the CEO, Aaron? I'm like, no. Have you met the owner? No. And I was like, because I was kind of new, it was maybe, I don't know, a couple months in when you guys came on board. But I remember talking to Van after our 4 or 5 way call, whatever it was. I remember, getting back on with Tuan and Van, and Van was like, "Listen, we got to get Angie to China. We got to get Angie." She goes, "We got to get the whole group," but she goes, "Angie needs to go there." She goes, "Aaron, we do these trips. And started talking about the trips, and she goes, "Eventually we'll have one," and she goes, "You got to get Angie there." I go, "Okay." And she goes, "Because when she gets there, just like us, when we did it in January with our whole team, we all came back with the belief and knowing that this was so much, like, just like you said, Angie, so much bigger than we could ever imagine. It's so much bigger than what we know here. So I remember her saying that get her to Asia, and here you are. Just
Here
go
I
back from Asia,
am.
right? Just come back from Asia, and hearing what you just said, it's pretty cool for me. It's pretty cool for me to hear that, because we all know that, right? We all know that you got, like you said, you got to get there. You got to get there to experience it, right? And I'm
Yeah.
sad that I didn't experience it. Obviously, I'm going to experience it in a little over a month here with you again, with a handful of people for the ODC. But yeah, it's just really neat. I'm really proud of you. I'm proud of you that you went. You got past the uncomfortableness, right, of
Yeah.
being uncertain, right, getting over some fear, and being uncomfortable. I just want to
Yeah.
tell you I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you. I'm not gonna
So
lie, I love Thailand a lot more than I did China, but but
yeah.
it was a good experience for sure, and I'm glad I did it. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome, appreciate you so much.
Yeah,
All
thank
right,
you. I missed you.
let's go ahead and grab Becky. Where did Becky
Okay.
go? Becky, oh, there
My
she is. I
my
know you got off,
computer
and
my computer died. We're literally I was trying to plug it in time and it didn't, so I had to hop on my phone. So
okay.
um Angie, thank you so much for sharing, and Tanis, you too. And um all the way there when we all met and we were in Hong Kong, we're just looking at each other going, is this real? Or this is really surreal. The whole experience, I would say, was kind of surreal. And we just literally had to keep pinching ourselves going, are we really here? And then Angie and I on the as we were leaving going, are we really coming back in 4 short weeks? We got to go do this all over again. But when I found out what ODC looked like in the video from last year's ODC, I'm like, holy cow, this is the most legit huge thing that we're about ready to head back to. So we will have to talk about that later. ODC, by the way, for those of you that don't know what that means, it's the Owners Development Developers Conference. And so Owners Developers Conference. So that's when we're actually going to meet the owner, Mr. Wong, at the ODC and actually see him. We weren't able to meet him in person. Like, I guess you were able to meet him back in January. Is that right, Aaron? Did he come in then? Oh, so it must have been Van and Tuan had met him prior
Yes,
to then.
correct,
Okay,
correct.
that's right. So we'll be able to meet Mr. Wong then, and I'll talk about that. So kind of bouncing off what Angie said about, if you're not going through the growing pains, what opportunity is there? And one thing that really, as far as the language goes, and so I want to help you guys, give you some language to what we are and how you can talk about this, because many of us are coming out of product network marketing companies, or maybe we're still in product and we're selling products. And I think the important thing, and I was able to talk to our Russian friends about this and really about with Arthur about it, because they always talk about he says, I've never been in a product, because he did Bitcoin before this, or, that was his vibe. And I said, Arthur, we're not a product company. We do have these devices, but I think if we could learn to say that we are a technology company and that we're in the emerging frequency technology space and really talk about that, it's going to differentiate us from all these other products. Because if you say, I sell another product, they're just going to throw you in the category of the vitamins and the pills and the potions and all that kind of thing. So I think that that's the first thing that I would really like to help us understand is the language of when you're saying what is this? It's well, it is a technology development company because they're going to be continually bringing out new frequency technology that is cutting edge, and Asia's got the cutting edge capabilities. So that was the one thing. And then also to hear about the pride that when we learned and sat in China and the pride that these people have and the understanding of this seal of the technology seal that they get placed upon these products. It's something that they're like, we are so proud to have this seal upon and it is Oli Olympia, because I'm from Washington State, Olympia, so it is Oli Nation. Even though a lot of people say Ollie, it is Oli, like Olympia Nation. So Olympia. I think that's why we're having a problem with the nature because the Olympics, but it's Oli Nation. But anyway, I think first of all, let's talk about that. Let's establish that that's a great language for you guys to have, is that we are a wellness technology company. So we need to set ourselves up and differentiate between these other product development companies. Okay. Then the next thing is that we are still considered an emerging market. There's a difference between an emerging market and an established market. You have Amways, you have all the big other companies that are really quite well established. I love the fact that we are in an emerging and so, like a volcano is emerging. It's not been blown yet. It's still working its way in. So when you look at this as an emerging market, and for those of us that are still in any country, whether it's the United States or whether it's any country around the world, every country is still just emerging. To think that we are not even pre-launched really officially in the United States. Can you wrap your head around that? That in this short amount of time, we're not even pre-launched here, and look how explosive our businesses have already been in these few short months. So when you're talking with somebody about this, you can also say we are considered in an emerging market, and this frequency wellness technology is just emerging. And the fact that technology is now going from just being a multi digit devices that are in these wellness clinics, and other clinics are now these devices that cost that of a cell phone that we can bring into every single home in America and around the world. That's something very, very big. So that's something I think that is very important. And another thing that I think was really ground in, there's going to be a few things, I'll just kind of go through a few of my notes here, but is that when we looked at how we are still emerging, we are still going to be having a lot of obstacles. Like Angie was saying, that, we're such a new company. And what this Mr. Wong and the developers of this company, they're looking for leaders that don't complain when there's an issue, or they don't complain when they're bumping up against how to do something, or what are we going to do, or what have you done to make this easier for me. That's the others, looking at others to make sure they're doing everything to help you. Well, in an emerging market, as leaders, and that's why we are all the collective here now, including Erin's group. It's a collective of very, very intelligent, smart human beings that understand what we have our hands on. So when there's an obstacle that is brought and we come up against, we don't look at it as, okay, now Van and Tuan, okay, now Erin, I have an obstacle. What are you going to do about creating it? They're saying they're looking to all of us for solutions, because every single obstacle that will ever come will have a solution to it. And God has given us the creative ability to get solutions to all these obstacles. And we hope to have a guest on one time, and his name is Arthur. And to see somebody that is in Aaron's team take a entire country, and I got to see Russia on a map, an entire country, and to emerge this into that country, and they didn't have anything but obstacles. They still can't even run a visa, and how they have to gather the money in their e-wallets, buy the devices, get the money back, sneak it across borders to get it back to where, I tell you what, they have found a solution to every obstacle. It makes us Americans, I'm sorry to say, look very lazy and very like we're so what do you want to say? We're so, it's not opinionated. Somebody help me out with the word. We are
entitled.
Thank you. That's exactly the word I want. We are so entitled here. And you guys, we've got to get away from that being entitled. And we really got to see, like Angie said, what we really do have our hands on here is something that is so emerging. I always see the vision of we're literally at the tip of a spear, and that spear hasn't even been thrown into the ground yet. And so, but here we are at the tip of it in an emerging market that's not even pre-launched. So we have to look at these obstacles as a positive. When every device was sold out of America, and every device sold out of the warehouses that were in California and Florida, I didn't get disappointed. I kind of knew that we were going to have a little bit of a lull because people are waiting for their devices. But this is our opportunity to be able to say, you guys, we ran out of devices and they said they would not do that. And we were able to do that in 1 month. Are you kidding me? And sell 8 million or $11 million worth of devices in the United States alone, 11 million in July. Hello, I think we're an emerging market here. I've turned it into such a positive that it actually makes people excited. Well, they all want one of those neck devices too. They're like, I hope mine takes 30 days because I want one of those neck massagers. So thank you to the company for being so generous to be able to do that for us in the meantime. So there is something that that Van said when she was talking, and maybe you've heard her say this before, but I'm going to share it with you again, because there's something that we got to see about what is the most important thing in knowing that this is a company that we belong in and that others can belong in, is that what are the 3 elements that makes a company successful, that makes any product a successful company or a successful, is that 1, you get to feel the product, 2, you can demonstrate it, and can it create a result without a lifestyle change? And to think that those 3 things are completely intact in what we have here. We have a phenomenal demonstratable product that we can feel and that it can create a result without a lifestyle change. You guys, that's huge. So just those 3 things say this is success in the making right now. And, this, and what has happened because of Van Antoine's system is that they've already created a system that anyone at any age can follow. So if it's already done for us. So really most of the obstacles have already been beaten, that they took on the brunt of the first layer of those obstacles. So when these other little obstacles come up, you guys, let's find solutions and let's be the solution, and let's not be the person that complains. We didn't hear one complaint out of the Russians that can't even run a visa, that they have to literally pay cash for everything, and they did $1 million in sales. Hello, in a country that you can't even exchange funds like that. So there's no complaints there, and they are running hard and breaking ranks like crazy over there. So I'm like, if Russia can do it, why aren't we, who have all the luxuries of the United States and other luxurious countries, why aren't we doing the same thing that we're doing? Well, they're doing. Well, we can. We absolutely can. So let's see. And you guys, we're not even in momentum yet. We haven't even begun momentum. We're just like, the wave hasn't even hit. We're just kind of on our board, still paddling. That wave is still yet to come. So there's just so much. If you just can grasp there's only 12 to maybe 13,000 people in the United States, and there's maybe only 2,000 people in Canada. You guys just think of that in the terms of a single city. Your city could be completely taken still. And there's leaders that are across the world that are literally leaving their areas and just dropping themselves in the middle of a city and saying, I'm going to dominate this whole city. And they just go in there cold and just start building. So there's so much vision and there's so much that can happen that you as a single individual can cause. Do you realize the ripple that you as a single individual with one P90 plus device could do in one single city? The power is in your hands. And if you just would grab a hold of that little bit of belief and don't wait for somebody else to tell you what to do or how to do it or where to go or what, this is all in your control. And you can either, and the neat thing is, here's the other thing that is actually a neat thing is that we're not here cracking the whip saying, get out there and hustle and putting the pressure on you. And you got to hurry and do this before the month's end. It is yours to do or not, or just sit at home and enjoy putting your feet on the device and get all the health benefits out of it and enjoy life. That is literally the freedom and the privilege that you get to have too. So I love that as well. To be honest, there's no shame if you just decide, I'm just loving just enjoying the health benefits of putting my feet on the device. Well, hallelujah. You got a device that you get to put your feet on every single morning and every single night. That alone is a blessing. But if you want to go to be a blessing to the masses, get out there and be a blessing to the masses and don't make any excuses and don't get your own self in the way. Like Van said, get people's feet on it and then just shut up. That was about the easiest. How do I do this? Get people's feet on it, turn on a video and just shut up and then poke them with a pin. That's it. How do you do this? That's it. That's the math right there. So, there was 4 things, and I'll finish with this that we may have heard again, but I'm going to tell you again that there's really only 4 things that we need to remember about what this company is doing for us and what Mr. Wong said he would do. 4 things. The rest is up to you. He said he would research and develop the best products continually for this company. That's the 1. 2, we will ship you the product. That is his promise. These are his 4 promises from the owner of the company. 2, we will ship you the products. He didn't say on time, but he said we will ship you the products. And I've attested to that. We all get the products when we get the products. And 3, if we owe you a commission, we will pay it. And so far, they have faithfully paid every commission that they have promised they would pay. And 4, we will constantly improve customer service. And this is where I'm going to really encourage you guys to be the solution and not the part of the problem because you got to understand that this customer service is dealing with 156 countries and how many different languages. And they all now can finally speak in English because it used to only be in Mandarin. That's it. Customer service was in Mandarin when Van and Tuan very first began. So now we've got the English, and sometimes it takes 24 to 48 hours to get a response from them. We're in 156 countries, and it's growing exponentially fast. So to know that that is the kind of speed that it's growing at, and we have a customer service that Mr. Wong promised would be constantly improving. Just be patient and be thankful that we are on this cutting edge of a company that is this young, that we still have these kinds of problems. Hallelujah again. Like, come on, see it as such a positive, as such a yes. Wow, this is that big. So the sheer volume of what they are dealing with right now in this company should just blow your mind, and it also should encourage you. The sheer volume of what they have and the amount of tickets that they have coming in every single day. What a great problem to have, you guys. It really is. So everything outside of those 4 things that I just mentioned, it's up to the field. And we've got ollynation.team.com or ollynation.team as the greatest resource in how many different languages. And they promise that if you launch another nation, they're going to add another language to their website. So there's no limits on what you guys can do or where you guys can go with this. No limits. The only limit is right here. And right here, that's it. Your only limit is your head and your heart of what you believe you can do. And all I know is when the three of us left there, we were like going, "Oh my word!" The whole entire globe is our is our is the only limit that we have. There is none, in other words. So I think it's just something that by going to this, let's see if there's any last little notes. Yeah, hello. And here's some of Van Antoine's stats just to blow your mind. Just them in 20 months that they've been in, they've done over 100 million in sales. 100 million. And it's that's a lot. That's a lot going on. And maybe that was even Paul. I think that might have been Paul, 20 months, over 100 million in sales, and they've made over 3 million in 20 months. So, I mean, if Van Tuan and Paul see that there's leaders out here in the field that want to grow, they're like, we're there for you. They're going to be literally there for everyone. I don't think Paul sleeps. I don't think he sleeps. I think that guy just literally works around the clock. I think we all attested to that. Like the guy is just, he loves what he does. He doesn't need the money. He just loves what he does so much. He loves helping people. He loves seeing people prosper. But I'll tell you what, who he wants to help prosper are those leaders that are not making excuses but are finding solutions. He'll run with you right alongside and grab your arm and pull you along if he sees that you're one of those kind of people. And the last thing I think I want to say, two other things. I'll say the culture of Oli Life, there is no ego. None. No ego. There is no I'm better, I'm greater, I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm faster. Nothing. You guys, the fact that you have landed in a culture of such deep, sincere, genuine humility, I want you guys to feel such a sense of gratitude. And don't let the image of somebody's face, even if you were to see them on a Zoom, and I can tend to sometimes look at someone and maybe hear their voice and feel a little prejudgy about the fancy shades that they might have on and the way they even talk. I kid you not. I was put very clear how much humility is in every single individual that we met. And some of them are very, very successful. And yet the humility is exactly the same. They will literally just bow their heart before you and give their heart on the platter to you as as soon as give you a hug. So that I want you to know that the culture that you have been blessed to be put in under Van and Tuan and Paul and Francis and Aaron, the humility, it can't help but breed more humility and then more humility. And anyone that knows Aaron knows that he is just the most humble, down-to-earth leader, and he's wildly successful, you guys. His team is wildly successful, but yet here he is just humbly serving every Monday night, every Tuesday night, he's serving you still. So it is the culture of this company. So what are we going to do? But let's keep duplicating that humility. Let's keep duplicating that kind of servant heart culture and that kind of humility, because that's what people need right now in our society. We're done playing games. We're done being the big man on campus. We're so over that. I just think people are looking for people that just want to serve them. And you know what? The best way to do is serve them by sticking their feet on, getting their feet clean for them and sticking their feet on a little device. How beautiful is that? That's humility to me. And as Paul said, the last thing he said to us, he said, with or without you, this company is going to be successful, but we'd rather do it with you. And we really saw that to be true, because this company is running and it's exploding in every single nation around the globe right now. And we have the opportunity right now to explode this into America, into Canada, into whatever country you're here, into Russia. Let's go do it, you guys. What we have here is huge. Let's not take advantage of it. Let's not waste it away. Let's get on the tip of that spear and let's pierce through the air. Anyway, love y'all. And I'll close with that, Aaron.
Oh man, I'm so excited now. I was already excited, right? But Becky, awesome job. Hey, I want to bring Angie back on. I know Tanis is off camera. She may have fallen asleep. I'm not sure. So Tanis is probably so exhausted. But anyway, I want to bring you guys on again. Tanis, if you want, I could bring you on as well. I just want to let me bring you on too, Tanis. Oh, Tanis, you're still awake. Great. Um, so, and by the way, Jody Evans on here as well, but Jody said she just basically literally got off the plane. So she's going to share next week. We're going to have a few others share next week too. Just, kind of 2 weeks in a row, just share what they experience as well. But I want to ask you guys a question because I know everybody's asking this. I think Phil asked this a second ago, but what can you tell all of us of what you learned about did you learn anything about, and this is new to me too, because I have no idea. I haven't even talked to Twan and Van yet. Anything new about the shake-in or the goggles or anything like that you can share that you or did you sign an NDA or what? Anything
No,
happened?
well, my thought is, they went over, they spent a good almost hour talking about the Galaxy G1 goggles. So, all of us were saying there's no way they're not going to come out with a second version. It's probably one of the best-selling products that they have. So they didn't say for sure. We won't find out until ODC, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say there's gonna be a second version for sure.
Mhm. That's
Yeah,
it. I think it's the impression we all got. We're like, why would they spend an hour
yeah.
on this phenomenal technology? And and by the way, I found out that that little thing that's in the little jar, which is a little magnet, where to put it on the goggles to see it vibrate. There's on the goggles is the seal of the Olilife seal, and if you turn on your goggles and put that little jar that came in there on top of the Olilife seal on your goggle, it'll jiggle the little sign. It'll jiggle it and let you know that's where the
I
PEMF is
didn't even
coming
know
out
what
of.
that.
So
I
Aaron's going
didn't
to
even
show
know
real
what that was
quick.
for. I thought it was a.
Yeah, so that Aaron will show you exactly what I'm talking about. So, and demonstrate it. And I didn't know that if you were to put that up against
No,
that, oh, it's in their invisible part of their screen. Nope, it's still invisible. Oh, nope,
let me get there.
nope, it's still invisible.
You guys see it? No, okay. Yeah, go back here. There
But
you go.
I think
You guys
we
see it?
should.
Is it dancing
You guys see it?
around?
Yeah, a little bit. It's hard with your
Yeah.
camera. But I think we should devote, like next week, obviously the other people that earn the trip are going to share their takeaways, but then going forward, maybe dedicate, one Monday night training to the goggles, one to the shaken, and Becky can, go over the slides were amazing. They were
Love it.
they were in Russian and English, so she got them just in English.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
but
I got
yeah,
all the slides.
yeah, we learned just so much. I mean, it's way too much to convey right now. But the other thing I wanted to do, Aaron, was put together a little reel of the condo. Because when I first heard, most of us are used to getting a car with a company or a car allowance. But when I heard, a condo and really seeing it for myself, I'm like, what a great idea, right? An investment that will just
Yeah.
continue. You can rent it out, you can sell it. But it's absolutely
The
beautiful. So we
grounds are gorgeous. Oh, they're just
gorgeous.
gorgeous.
Condo's teeny tiny, but the grounds are gorgeous. And so
Yeah.
I'll put together a little reel. I think it helps for people to visualize that and really see, the opportunity ahead of them. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I think that's a great idea,
And I'm
Ange.
glad it's in Thailand versus China.
Yes.
But you know what? Also seeing that China, I think I've got some really good footage of what the China. I should have had it ready of what the China, so the how the office looked like, because that is why they brought us to that one, is because that exact office is what they want to be in California when we start our office and open up our offices here in the United States. And it is glamorous. I mean, it's something you could be proud to bring anybody to, and all the multi devices that you could try on. It was so wonderful. So it's a beautiful place. Maybe by next week we can show you the actual pictures that we all took, and the certificates that were on the walls. The pride that these guys have in the certifications. is pretty valuable to us. I mean, it's nothing but certification after certification after certification, third-party testing. So it's legitimate. This isn't just like a product from China that falls apart. This is so not like that. This is high-end wellness technology. Yeah, solid.
Love
Anyway,
it.
yes.
Love it. Yeah. So, hey, listen, I'll dedicate the whole month if you guys want to like, what you guys learn and slides and different devices. I mean, I think that would be fascinating. I think it'd be great if you guys want to do that, next week. Next week we'll have obviously, Kristen, Amy, Jody, and a couple other people will be on as well, just kind of sharing their takeaways as well quickly. And then maybe we can leave a little bit of time, maybe the first 20 minutes for that, and the next 20 minutes to share whichever device you guys want to share, whoever wants to share it, Angie or Becky or both, or Tanis, whatever, whoever wants to share it. Maybe we can learn about one of the devices next week and what you guys, I mean, Angie, you said you learned a ton about the Shaken Massager as well. So I think all of us would love to, I mean, I'm just maybe speaking for everybody that would probably love to hear whatever you guys learned about the devices. That'd be phenomenal.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys so much for sharing everything. Well, not everything. We still got a lot more to share, but thank you so much for sharing what you experienced in China and Thailand, and we'll look forward to hearing a lot more here in the next couple of weeks here. So
awesome. Thank you so much for letting us share.
And let's see, how about the neck massager? Someone says let's see if there's any questions really quick. Neck massager we're all going to get. You could go over that. You guys try the neck massager? Well, we've had people that tried it as well. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I got one when I was in Anaheim. So I've been using it for quite a while. And it is everything that you would hope it would be. It's wonderful.
Yeah. I just tried it last night for the first time. It's got massage, heat, EMS, acupuncture. Really cool.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, you guys. And thank you everybody for joining us. I'll get the replay uploaded and I'll share it. So anybody that couldn't make it tonight can listen to us. So thank you so much, you guys. We'll see you next week. I'll see you tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Everybody get some people on. Let's go. Bye, everybody.